I'm taking these videos from the backyard of my daughter's house, and and it's very. If you look down, you can see the part of the city of El Paso. I'm taking this video for the simple reason I'm getting ready to do a video about what actually happens when you have a relative more or less deported. This is, I've had two relatives deported already. Previously, I had my uncle about 40 something years ago. About 14 years ago, I had a nephew, and it was kind of hard. Both were deported to Trinidad. My uncle, who was married at the time, was deported, and he had a young kid here in New York at the time. And after he got deported, more or less, he and the wife went her own way, and the son was left with the mother. And he went back to Trinidad. And he never came back. He went back to Trinidad and had a very successful life to this day. Then about 14 years ago, my brother's son, okay, he was never married to the woman. He was in Vietnam, and then he went down an hour and hour. He hooked up with this woman in Trinidad, and they never got married. So when the boy was 3 years old, they came up and went to California, and he never got neutralized. So he was about 46 years old when he hung around with some relatives that didn't treat him right, and they were running. They put some drugs in his truck for him to take to, I think it was over Arizona, and he got caught and he got deported. And the thing about it, he knew nobody in Trinidad. He had, well, not quite. His mother had a sister in Tobago, and he spent some time there, but he got, it wasn't a very success. He's still down there, struggling. I've helped him a few times, but he's very bitter, and he talks about the Trinidadians like, they did him wrong. When you get deported, and you have relatives up here, we try to help them as much as possible, but you got to be able to help yourselves. Deportation happens to everybody. Right now, a lot of countries around the world are deporting people. So this is not just here in the United States. So we have to understand that. When you get deported, it's not the end of your life. You go down there. I've known of some people that were very successful that has been deported back to the country. While you're in the United States, you should have fixed your paperwork, or you should have picked up some kind of skills that you can use back in your country. So right now, there's a lot of fears in some of these major cities. Like right now, I had reports from New York and then some from Chicago, where the streets after a while are barely anybody in them. People have gone into hiding. It's hard for people to live in fear. And I hope this don't last too long. We got to find a better way of deporting these people. I mean, it was wrong for them to stay in the country illegally, but they're already here. Select the ones that can help this country. The people have been helping a lot, whether we believe it or not, because a lot of people have been working for years helping us with Social Security, and these people will never draw Social Security. So think about that. A lot of them. What happens to the many of the people that die that never get Social Security? You ought to ask yourself that. The Social Security system has been robbing a lot of people. Even myself have been robbed before WEP, and I'm waiting for reimbursement. So, America, give some of these people a break. Some of these are some very good people just here trying to establish a good life. The criminal elements should and will be deported. So, that's all I have to say on that is good evening and have a great day. Oh, again, this is a veteran from Trinity. A little more support would be helpful. Like I said, I want this station to be successful so I can help my fellow veterans any way I can. Again, thank you, and thank you for your service.